All right, so I start off this one, I think.
No.
Or did I start off the last one?
Honestly, I don't give a shit.
I mean, it doesn't matter, but just for continuity's sake.
I mean, I don't know if we really have to be like that. Let's see here. Were we 6?
Yeah, episodes.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, believe me, I know when it's my turn, Ryan.
You know what? You can slate this fucker, okay?
Hey, everybody, it's Mike.
And it's Ryan.
And guess what you're listening to?
You are listening to the new, the improved, the
Cologne Podcast.
That's right. We simplified it for you.
There we go. Who the hell can spell Cologneversations anyways, right?
That's right. We rebranded 6 episodes in.
We realized the reason that we don't have any listeners is not because we're two nobodies, but it was just hard to spell Cologneversations, so.
Yeah. So there you go. We fixed it for you.
Yep. So today we're going to be covering another oldie but goldie.
Let's don't say the name of it yet. We got
No. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself.
I'm just teasing what's to come.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Just in case you didn't see the name of the podcast episode. This one is going to be one that's going to take you all the way back to 1994.
Ooh, that's a good year.
Oh, yeah. The Weather Girls were number one. No, I'm just kidding.
With its raining men.
That's right. So before we get to 1994's special fragrance,
Yes.
let's take us back to our one night stand review of...
YSL, right?
Yes. Cue the music. Yeah. One night stand review. Thanks, Todd. All right, after spinning...
We were able to fund Todd coming back onto the show.
Thank goodness, man. That guy, once COVID hit, he had it rough. He was the bod man we were talking about. Salisbury steak every night.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor guy. But he smells clean, so.
He does. Smells like YSL.
All right, so after spending the night with the man of the night,
Yes.
what do you think?
I know we hyped it up yesterday, and deservingly so, but even when I got home, I was like, man, I don't think we did it enough justice. I really mean that.
Yeah.
It's an amazing smell. I think anybody getting into colognes or fragrances in general, if you're getting into this, that is a starter piece for everybody.
That's a first buy, for sure.
Exactly. It just has great value. But basically, I will say this. The longevity is not there as some other ones for me.
Yeah.
It did reactivate when I take a shower, but it wasn't like smelling harder than that. But I will say, man, it's just a genuinely really great smell. And I think it's just a great starter piece for the price that it is.
Yeah, if you're starting a collection, you can't go wrong with buying that.
Yeah.
If you've been like I used to be, where you had one scent that you've gone on for years at a time. I did whatever Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme for 10 years plus.
Yeah, which is a good fragrance.
It's a great fragrance. It's a clean smelling fragrance. But this one, if you've been on a fragrance for a while, you want to try something new, you're not stepping too far out of your comfort zone to grab this one. It's at a decent price. I probably get 6 good rocking hours out of it, and then it's a skin scent for 2 or 3 more.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's pretty good. For the money, it's one of those ones perfect for the evening, but I think you can get away with wearing it to the office.
Oh, man, I definitely think you can wear it in the daytime. Went out to lunch with some people, and man, it's a great smell. I loved it. I'm going to champion for that cologne for the longest time, or fragrance, but it's a great smell. You can't go wrong with it.
And I saw that there was like a La Nuit de l'Homme Intense. I'm curious to try.
Yeah, I wonder if is it supposed to be more potent as far as longevity, or is it going to have more punch?
You know what? I don't know anything about it. Maybe we'll explore it on a future podcast.
Ooh, a future podcast with that. That sounds fun.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to sew this up quickly because what we're getting into, we're going to have to travel back in time for it.
Oh,
so,
man.
Here we are. We both said buy it yesterday. We're both saying buy it again today. I guarantee you put it on, the next morning, you're not waking up with any regrets.
That's a good one.
All right, let's get into our scent of the day. And this one comes from Ryan's own collection.
Yes, not one that I've had this like in my repertoire for a while, but I went out and purchased it. It was only $30. I'm not gonna lie, I picked it up at Sam's Club. Not endorsed by them or anything.
We do frequent Sam's Club.
Yeah, we do, unfortunately. But 6.7 ounce bottle for $30.
Wow. That's almost as cheap as Bodman.
Yeah, pretty much. But you're getting a designer fragrance here. That's the difference.
Okay, let's hip us to what you got there.
I brought none other than 1994's greatest hit by Calvin Klein himself, CK1.
Ooh,
check that off.
The first unisex fragrance to grab U.S.-wide support.
Yes. I can remember the advertisements. I remember this being a big deal in stores everywhere.
This box feels like the 90s.
It does, doesn't it? It's probably
sat on the shelf at Sam's since the 90s.
And funny enough, when I opened that up originally, it had the twist cap on it, like the metal cap.
Yeah.
You had to twist that off, expose the whole bottle, and then actually insert your tube and atomizer on top and screw that on.
Why would they still make it that way?
I don't know. But I will say this, that was the funnest part to me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, okay. Let's get into this.
Oh, man.
You first.
Here we go. I'm going to do my arm here and then the paper.
Yep. Here we go. One on the wrist.
Whew.
And, whoa, there we go. It's coming through already.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say I do still love the look of the bottle.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
The simplicity of it. I haven't put anything to my nose, and I'm overwhelmed with it already.
Yes, it is very punchy out the gate, for sure.
This is very 90s.
Very, very 90s. Now, I made the mistake. Now, so far, I'm not getting the same vibe, but I will go ahead and let you in a little secret here. I did put this on that day, and I purposely didn't wear any cologne when I went out and got it. So when I got in the car, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to spritz myself all over.
Yeah.
And I drenched myself down in this, and it literally made me sick. I mean, my head was throbbing.
I will say, I haven't smelt this since I was using training wheels, so this is my first experience with it in a long time.
It is stout.
It's stout. I can smell where it's got both masculine qualities and you can smell a strong floral in there.
Yeah.
Why don't you hit us with some of those notes, Ryan?
Whew, man, I would love to.
There's a lot. Okay, this is like reading a page out of the Bible.
So let me go ahead and read these notes to you. I'm going to start with the top notes here real quick.
Go for it.
Okay. They are lemon, green notes, bergamot, pineapple, mandarin orange, cardamom, papaya. And that's just the top notes.
Wow. Sorry, I just got back from lunch. What were those again?
Let me hit you with the middle notes on this bad boy.
Do.
All right, here we go. Lily of the Valley, jasmine, violet, nutmeg, rose, orris root, freesia. And that's the middle notes.
There we go. Surely there's less bottom notes to this.
Yeah, there's just a little bit on the base notes. Just a couple here. Green accord, musk, cedar, sandalwood, oak moss, amber, green tea. And that's the base notes.
There we go.
Not a really complicated fragrance.
No, not one. You know, it's all the ingredients that make it less complicated because it's pretty much just like all of them.
Yeah, I think probably Calvin Klein like tripped and fell into a vat of like everything, and he was like, "Yeah, this is it. I'm gonna make this smell."
It's like when you see somebody carrying a tray with a bunch of stuff, and there's like, "Whoa!" You know,
pretty much. Yeah. It is for me. I remember liking this scent, but there is a lot going on, so I don't know what to really think of it as of today's standards. It's not sophisticated at all, in my opinion.
No, I mean, it's hard not to compare this to Michael Jordan by Michael Jordan because it smells like the same year. You know what I mean?
It does. Since we've been, just a little insider information for everybody, since we've kind of like picked this up as a little fun hobby to smell a little thing here and there, we've noticed that today's scents or fragrances are a little bit more complex. Then that doesn't mean overbearing of scents. Like you say a couple times, they kind of take you on a journey.
Right.
Whereas this one or other older scents from the 90s, there's like everything's here right at the top. You'll get it in the middle of this and at the end of this is the same smell. It's not really sophisticated. It's just kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it has, like, typically what you're going to see in, like, one of these clean sort of blue or green, whatever they call them, scents, is that you're going to have a citrus top note. You're going to have some sort of floral type something in the mid there, and then in the base you'll have musk and some of the spices. I mean, this has all of those, but then it has everything else. You know what I mean?
Everything is competing for your sense of smell.
Yeah.
Everything. Nothing is like more than the other. It's like all the same. Yeah, hit me with that coffee. Let me try to...
Yeah, I need a nose break for a second just to try to figure this thing out.
Ah, man, that coffee does smell good. Dunkin' Donuts, by the way, guys.
Yes, the original blend.
Man, it's not necessarily a bad smell to me, but it's just so much going on.
Yeah. So on my skin, I realized, first of all, because there's 1 million top notes, smelling the tester strip doesn't really make sense for me. There's just so much going on. My nose is like really struggling with that. Yeah. But whenever I smell it on the skin, at least on my skin, it's coming off very feminine. It's very floral. And it's very powdery.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely more for a woman than a man. And hell, I don't even know if I could tolerate it then if it was on a woman. It's pretty stout.
I'm getting a ton of rose off my skin.
I don't know what I'm getting. Who knows out of the 100 things I read off.
And here's the thing. I love rose.
Yeah.
I love the scent of rose, but it has to be simplified. I don't think rose is a bad thing for men to wear.
Yeah.
I lean towards floral, sweet, unisex fragrances.
Yeah.
Which would make me think I might actually like this, but there's just so much going on competing. If you had more of a simple floral, simple rose smell, I think you could get away with, especially some of these guys that are very, I imagine like Ryan Gosling could wear, whatever, just a loose fitting shirt and a little bit of rose, and all the women would be like, oh, he's so brave. If I wore it, they'd be like, why is this guy wearing perfume? You know?
So what's a little bit of a backstory about this cologne? I know you took a few notes. Like, what are some things that you found out about it?
Well, like I said before, it was the first unisex fragrance that was widely accepted, and I remember it was obsessed over.
Yeah.
So within a couple of years, it was making $90 million, mid-90s, $90 million a year annually off this fragrance.
Wow.
And we looked at the Fragrantica popularity, ticker, and it's flatlined right now. And you would think it's to a crawl, still makes $30 million a year in sales.
Are you serious?
That's what Wikipedia told me.
Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, if you look at, so we say this a bunch, but on Fragrantica, they have a stock ticker up and down kind of symbol thing for each fragrance. This was super popular back in 2009. And then literally between 2009 and 2011, it plummeted straight to the bottom, and it's been flat the entire time.
Right.
But the fact they're still making a profit off of this thing is crazy to me, because it's not anything, I don't know, and maybe I'm being a little too harsh on it, but I don't remember it being so rough to me. This is a rough scent to me.
It's very strong. It smells like
Bigfoot's dick!
Obviously, things get reformulated. Who knows what the original straight up from that era smells like? I don't know how much it would differ from this, but this is very reminiscent to what I remember. But now that I'm smelling it now, it's just, man, it is brutal.
Yeah, I would say if you have this in your collection, be careful how much you're putting on, because this thing, to somebody who hasn't been around this fragrance very long, is very strong.
It is super strong. We have literally sprayed one squirt on our hands.
On our wrist, yeah.
I'm just like, it's tough. You would not soak yourself in this one. I made the mistake of that, and I literally got sick off of it. And I drench myself in every type of cologne or fragrance that I try.
Yeah.
I never have that issue.
Watch it be we go outside and just get mauled by, interested women, because they're like, wow, what an intriguing scent on a man. I just imagine that scene from Austin Powers. They were just like running down the road looking for any clear alleyway to get away. I don't know. Again, off me, it's so floral.
Yeah, it's very floral. And what's funny, I kind of told you about this without looking things up. I think this other brand came out after this. I'm pretty confident in saying that. But a popular brand that I liked, late 90s, early 2000s, was Issey Miyake. And the signature line they have there, it's a Japanese fragrance. I see where it's like this, but it's way better. It's so elevated. It's a lot better smell.
It's probably simplified, honestly.
It may be. And these have a similarity, which is kind of frightening when I think about it, because I wore that other scent a long time growing up, but this just does not do it for me, man.
To me, it reminds me of when you get a meal and there's a lot in it, like a soup, for example, and you taste it and you can taste things that you like in there.
Yeah.
But then there's things that you clearly don't like in there. And it's like you're getting bombarded with all the taste at one time.
Yeah.
It's not going to go as well. It's like you could throw a filet in there and a filet is just going to be better by itself on the plate.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't try to make a terrible soup better by chopping up, a nice filet and throwing it in there.
Man, I'm telling you, this is a strong smell. Okay,
It really is.
We're kind of getting the smell out of the way. So what do you see as the person that wears this fragrance?
I'm going to have to say, if it's a man, it should probably be Harry Styles that's wearing it.
That's a good point. That's actually right up there. I believe it. Yes.
Yeah. So there are some unisex fragrances that definitely lean hard florally.
Yeah.
And more of the androgynous, mysterious man gets away with those.
Yeah.
It is an intriguing smell. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wearing feminine scents on you because I do think it's intriguing. Mm-hmm. Just like when a woman will wear something that's a little more masculine, I think it's actually more attractive to a man because we like those scents. You know what I mean? So I understand men that will wear one that leans a little more what we would consider feminine.
Yeah.
But as far as this one goes, at least on my skin, it's strong feminine. So you've got to really rock that vibe. I don't think I'm confident enough to do it, but I think Harry Styles is.
Man, my take would be exactly like yours. I'm not going to stray too far off of that. I think you hit it right on the head. I do think this leans way more feminine.
Sure.
Doesn't mean a guy can't wear it, but man, you've got to bring some style with this because you're not just throwing this on with like a t-shirt and something or whatever. You got to have something about you when you walk with this, man.
In the 90s, I could see Brad Pitt wearing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There were those times where and I can picture the photo shoot. Brad Pitt's got a shaved head. He's in a dress. It's one of those things where it was like you could be insanely masculine and adopt these things that are like so counterculturally feminine in those days.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like rappers are wearing dresses and stuff and it's just more accepted. But in the 90s, it was like, what the hell is this guy doing? You know?
Yeah.
That's Brad Pitt. You know? So I think back in those days, I could totally see him rocking this and people just being like, hey, that's one hell of a man who can wear that set, you know?
Yeah.
Now you got to be able to really embrace sort of the femininity of it and that just be part of the style that you're wearing that day.
For sure. That's the take on it, man. I have to say I was a little disappointed with it. I remember it being a really great smell, and it was. I don't know if it's just too strong now. I don't know if they've reformulated it or maybe I'm just more sensitive to it, but again, it smells good to me, but it's just a little disappointing.
I don't have like a strong line of reference to go by, but I will say it smells like Michael Jordan by Michael Jordan with rose notes to me on my skin. It's a little more powdery too.
Yeah.
A little drier of a smell.
Well, let's get into it.
Okay.
Skip it, sample it, or buy it.
Skip it. I'm sorry. This is not one that I need in my collection. For me, skip it.
Let me say all these nice things about it and skip it.
Well, and that's the thing too, is I'm going off what I'm going to do. I would definitely recommend somebody try it, sample it.
I think the first I'm going to go with it is sample it, but I would say skip it as well. Unless you just love CK1, obviously you'll get it. Maybe you need to be the person that ventures off further than I did with it and actually find like a vintage bottle of it. But I'm just, whatever this is that you can pick up, it's a huge bottle. Sorry. Well, I was going to say, it's a huge bottle, 200 mil for $30. I mean, it's a good deal on what you're getting as far as quantity, but man, it is strong and it will last you forever because you could probably literally get away with one spray of this, no joke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's strong. I think the thing to me is it just, for this scent, really does smell dated.
It does.
So, I don't know. I'm like, if you're going to spend $30, There's a lot of good finds you can find for $30. You can get Azzaro's Wanted by Night online for $30.
Damn,
for
that's
100
crazy.
mil.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I would be like, well, I won't get into it because we should do an episode on that one. But if you're going to drop $30, go to Outback.
Yeah, don't buy CK1. Just go get a steak dinner.
That's it. You will enjoy that far more than having 200 mils of a 10-year fragrance.
I'm going to say this seriously. I put it on the day I bought it, which was about a week ago. And today's the second time. And this will probably be the last time that I put it on.
Yeah.
That is going to sit on my shelf for a long, long time.
Well,
this will one day be vintage to somebody.
Yeah. And then it'll be worth a fortune. It'd be like
$35.
This was the first unisex fragrance to gain wide support in the U.S. You'd be on Antique Roadshow. I'm going to be right next to you with Michael Jordan by Michael Jordan. Going, hey, how much can I get for this? Well, it doesn't have the Space Jam sticker on it, so you're going to get $16 for this. But yeah, I guarantee you it won't be the last time you put it on because we'll be heading to YouTube pretty soon for some videos. So once we do that, we will relive some of our skip it, sample it, buy it, and we'll make compilations and stuff like that. Which, by the way, if you're listening, please shoot us an email. We want to hear from you. We want to know that you're out there.
We're lonely. Please send us an email.
Please. Let them sleep in your bed.
And our email is the Cologne Podcast at gmail.com.
The Cologne Podcast at gmail.com.
So with that being said, let's tease a little bit about what we're going to be smelling next.
Ooh, I've been waiting for this episode for a long time. For 7 episodes, I've been waiting for episode 8.
You've been waiting so long for this.
Dude, I have been waiting forever for this. Okay.
A total of 2 weeks.
Yeah. We've definitely hinted that we were going to head in this direction, that we were going to have this episode.
Yeah.
This is a fragrance that I actually heard a lady say is unisex.
Okay.
I don't believe her.
Okay.
But she worked for the boutique of this brand.
Wow.
And I will say that it was in the ladies section of Nordstrom.
That's crazy.
So, if you're curious about this, this is a very strong, manly smell, masculine scent. If you're listening right now and you're curious and you want to tell us what you think it is, email us at thecolognepodcast@gmail.com.
Spoken like a true salesman.
There you go.
Well, everybody, that is episode number 7. Fun fragrance, I guess, back in the day. Not so much for me now. But thank you for listening.
Yes, we appreciate every listener. And unless it's CK1, spray it up, y'all.